It is Thursday, March the 6th. Yes, it's like more in store this week, too.
It's been a week that we don't have to tell you. We've had a lot of conversations with clients, concern about where the market is, concerns about should we do anything, what do the tariffs mean, what does the seeing red so much in the stock market mean, what do we do? And the answer is we're in a period. David Westbury, who is the one of the chief economists for First Trust, wrote that we're at a point in time right now that we have headwinds, tailwinds, side winds. The sea is choppy, and we just need to hang on. Seatbelt signs remain on. And the answer is we don't do anything right now.
No, you don't need a life preserver.
Right.
We're not in this is not a desperate mode at all. In fact, I've been expecting this, and we've been expecting this for a couple of months.
We had the most interesting question by a great listener a few minutes ago on our show that asked us, okay, with the tariffs, what would be the sectors that would be most rewarded in terms of the tariffs?
Yeah, and your answer was a good one.
And we paused, because the pause is the first thing you have to answer about that is, okay, how long will the tariffs be? You pointed out if this is a negotiation tactic, if this is something that is resolved in a month, maybe a month and a half, 2 months, then really all sectors have the potential to come back up. So there's not going to be a winner per se because of that.
If it's protracted, then they're all going to be losers.
All losers.
So you're going to have the market go just the opposite direction.
And then you had this week the R word appear, which becomes part of the connecting to the potential tariffs. That's the recession. And so you have then, you got to think through, okay, what you are going to be in. We answered then the question, if it is protracted, if we get into a trade war, then we historically have seen sectors like utilities and large cap value and consumer staples being the
boring stuff.
The boring stuff being the ones that they're down, but they aren't down as much. What we have learned at this moment's time over 30 years to say to you is, it is not the right thing to take money out of the stock market.
I mean, you could take money out of the stock market in small percentages to try to just make your defensive pieces a little stronger, but definitely not getting out of the market at 100%. We've just had terrible success with clients who get out of the market and then they get frustrated because they're looking to us when to get back in, but not to lose any money, and it's impossible. It truly is impossible.
So what we're doing with the meetings we're having, with the discussions we're having, and looking at portfolios, we're looking at where the balances are. We can tell you that here at HMC, in averages, we have the majority of clients have no less than 40% in the stock market and no more than probably 60 to 65%. Now, there's outliers on either side of that. The equity weighting is split between stocks that pay dividends and stocks that are growth oriented. So they're split equally between that. So from that perspective, if you're in that position, at this moment in time, we're still comfortable with that. We're looking at talking about potentially, we've changed last week the bonds to be much shorter. In maturity and in time, they're liquid. We have the ability to get to those, as well as we've talked about potentially maybe getting something more, maybe getting the S&P a little more equal weighted in a way that we could go about that, and we're discussing that. So we're looking at it. We're aware of your concern. You call us and talk with us. We'll be here to help you. Again, if you're talking to friends and they're concerned, let us talk to them. We would be glad to talk with them.
Absolutely.
Also. We do this each and every week because we know how important it is to you. We know how important you are to us, and we know it is your money.
And your money matters.
See you next week.